Another winter storm moves in, school closures, snow emergencies, and how much we can expect right now.
And congressional negotiators say they have reached an agreement to avert a government shutdown. An update straight ahead.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Thanks for joining us tonight. It seems almost like a broken record as another winter snowstorm hits Wisconsin.
It started coming down in Madison right around 7 o'clock tonight, and it'll be sticking around for a while. There have been several snow emergencies already declared. Beloit, Janesville, Monona, Portage, Stoughton, Sun Prairie, just some of the cities on the list.
Let's go right to Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. He's in the Weather Center. Our first alert forecast. Gary?
We read about the snow. It's steady, and in some cases, it has been increasing in intensity through the evening hours. There's also been a little bit of freezing drizzle mixed in as well, although most of the freezing rain has been farther to the south across parts of northern Illinois. You can see this on Doppler track, the Quad Cities in northwestern Illinois getting some sleet and freezing rain right now, but it's primarily snow across southern Wisconsin. You can see the snow continuing to head northward. Pretty much our entire viewing area now covered with the snow. Visibilities tell the story. The lower the visibility, the heavier the snow coming down. Right now, 3/4 mile visibility in La Crosse and Boscobel. Also, our visibilities between about a mile and a mile and a half. The winter storm warning has now been expanded into Rock and Jefferson counties, so pretty much the entire area under a winter storm warning. For Crawford and Grant counties, it runs through 9 p.m. tomorrow evening. Everybody else, it runs until midnight tomorrow night. Expected snowfall, those numbers still about the same, 6 to 9 inches in and through the Madison area. A little more up to the north, perhaps as much as a foot up in northern portions of Juneau and Adams counties. A little less to the south where there could be some freezing rain mixed in, especially down towards Janesville. Temperatures right now at or below freezing. Janesville right now, though, at 32 degrees. You can see the snow in Madison. Expect the snow to continue through the day tomorrow, although it will lighten up in intensity during the afternoon. Our high temperature topping out at 30 degrees. Later on, I'll tell you what we can expect in the wake of the storm.
Thank you, Gary. This storm is coming after some schools already used up all of their snow days.
And that is the case in Mount Horeb. Amy Reed joins us now to show us what their plan is now. Amy?
Right, Mount Horeb School District built 3 snow days into their calendar, but with the cold and snow over the past few weeks, they're all gone. Now it's on to Plan B.
When the hallways are empty, teachers stick around. And with workdays built into their year, this no-student atmosphere is more familiar than you might guess. But soon,
I have not experienced
this time will get cut down in order to make up for lost time from the snow.
First time in my career we've ever had that happen before we have this many, yeah.
It's a first for many running out of snow days, so this plan is a first too. Superintendent Steve Salerno said to make up for the extra time, the district will cancel the Parent-Teacher Conference Day at the end of February and the Professional Development Day on March 1st. And all those early release days, they're gone too. Salerno said most people are on board.
Just can-do spirit. They roll up their sleeves, they dig in, and let's get it done. I mean, that's their thoughtfulness that makes this community just so very special.
Even teachers who still have to juggle their own kids while making up for lost time.
Losing that time is definitely not ideal, but being able to control the weather is certainly something out of our hands.
They're understanding. With a big renovation coming to the high school right at the end of May, adding days at the end of the year isn't really feasible. And coming up with a flexible plan like this one makes room for days like tomorrow.
If I were a betting man, I'd say it's going to be a photo finish there tomorrow.
Where canceling school is still up for debate. But if this snow doesn't stop and the days keep piling up in return...
If worse comes to worse, we would certainly explore that. Let's just hope that we don't have to make that decision.
At this point, Mount Horeb is still planning on school tomorrow, but you can check out Channel 3000 to stay up to date on that decision.
So much to juggle for all these school districts. This has been quite the winter. Amy, thank you. Well, also tonight, ahead of the storm, the Madison Streets Division salted all residential roads. That's something they haven't done since the 1970s. Now, city leaders say the decision was not taken lightly, having to weigh driver safety versus the environmental impact of salt on our lakes. In terms of the impact of this extra salt used today, officials say it's essentially like we had another big storm because of the amount of salt was doubled.
While there is a lot of salt on the roads right now, it is proving difficult to find it in stores. Do It Best in Mount Horeb sold out of ice melt over the weekend after a fresh shipment Friday. They blame the shortage on less snowfall in recent years. They started cutting back on their supply because the demand had decreased. Caught on camera, look at this, an Ashwaubenon public safety officer was hit by a semi-truck around 9:30 this morning. The officer was initially trapped in the vehicle but was able to get out free uninjured. Police say this is a good reminder to drive at safe speeds so you are able to stop and avoid crashes when conditions deteriorate. The semi-driver was cited for operating too fast for conditions.
We are learning new information tonight about the Milwaukee officer who was killed in the line of duty last week. A criminal complaint says Officer Matthew Rittner was hit by one of 4 shots fired from an AK-47 pistol after he had created an opening in a door with a ram during a search warrant. The complaint formally charges 26-year-old Jordan Fricke with first-degree intentional homicide and other crimes related to the fatal shooting of the 35-year-old officer. A $1 million cash bail was ordered yesterday. Beloit police are hoping the community will help them gather more information to make an arrest in that city's first homicide of the year. Happened over the weekend at the 800 block of Vine Street Saturday, where police found 28-year-old James Tompton dead in the driver's seat of a still-running vehicle. Police say shot by a person in the passenger seat. Beloit police released a picture and video this afternoon, hoping it will bring answers. Today, we spoke with the victim's aunt, who says he will be missed.
I mean, he's such a giving, loving person. I don't know why. You know, that's the question in my head. Because James would do anything for you. If he could help you, he would.
Beloit police say Tompton was killed around 12:20 p.m. Saturday. Officers arrived just after 2:30 that afternoon, saying that's because it took that long for a worried resident to notice Tompton and give them a call.
5 people died this weekend in snowmobile crashes across the state. They happened Friday and Saturday in Calumet, Dunn, Langlade, Iron, and Forest counties. It is unknown if alcohol was involved in any of these deaths. Fire crews still have not officially released what caused a condo complex to catch fire this afternoon. 17 people and their pets aren't allowed back home tonight after being displaced. It was reported around 2:30 on Luann Lane. The fire spread to the roof and the attic and was put out about 45 minutes later.
A former Girl Scout volunteer accused of sexually assaulting a girl over a period of 5 years is headed to trial. According to Dane County court records, 49-year-old Stephen Faust stood mute in court today. A not guilty plea was entered on his behalf. Faust is charged with 1 count of repeated sexual assault of a child accused of regularly touching the now 13-year-old girl inappropriately from 2010 to 2015. The trial for suspended Badger football player Quintez Cephas has been delayed. According to court records, the trial was not, quote, ripe for trial at this time. He faces 2 felony sexual assault charges and allegations from last year. Cephas has pleaded not guilty. Congressional negotiators say they have reached an agreement in principle to avoid a government shutdown at the end of the week. The 4 lead bipartisan negotiators declined to get into details, but when asked whether it included barrier funding, Senate Appropriations Chair Richard Shelby said, quote, we got an agreement on all of it. This news comes the same night President Trump visited El Paso, holding a campaign-style rally. He brought the battle over the border wall with him.
I don't know, you heard, right? Today, we started a big, beautiful wall right on the Rio Grande.
Outside of that rally, locals held a massive protest led by El Paso native former Congressman Beto O'Rourke, who is said to be considering a 2020 presidential run.
2 school board members in Milton want to take a closer look at stipends being paid to district employees without board approval. Those stipends worth over $30,000 were discussed tonight at a school board meeting. Board member Brian Quapple told the Janesville Gazette that he had heard board president Tom Westrick approved those payments in November, something Westrick apologized for tonight.
Approximately 3 weeks ago, the district's legal counsel made me aware that the action I took last fall was not in compliance with school board policy. I personally own this oversight and take full responsibility for not getting the official approval from the full board prior to my request for this payment.
He says he will formally introduce the stipends to the full board at a later date. If they are not approved, that amount will be paid back to the district, but it is unclear where that money will come from. The Wisconsin Air National Guard has just finished its first day of nighttime training flights. Madison residents may see or hear the F-16 jets taking off or landing until about 9 o'clock the next 3 nights. Officials say they are following flight paths designed to minimize noise for area residents. A stretch of Highway 33 between Portage and Baraboo is set to be renamed in a veteran's honor. Staff Sergeant Daniel Bush died on his mission portrayed in the movie Black Hawk Down. He helped save 5 other people who were on that helicopter that crashed in 1993. He's buried at the Welsh Church Cemetery along Highway 33 next to his relatives. His mother also lives along that stretch of highway. State Representative Dave Considine will present the bill for signatures this Thursday.
We don't give enough attention to the heroes of the last few generations, and he's definitely one of them.
Considine says after he gets signatures on that bill, he will formally introduce it to the Assembly Speaker. Still ahead tonight, your updated forecast, including expected snow totals.
Plus, a new piece of equipment being used at the Dane County Jail to help keep contraband out. How it works next on News 3 Now at 10. Welcome back. The Dane County Sheriff's Office is doing what it can to help tackle the opioid problem, even inside jail walls.
Our Jamie Perez gives us an exclusive look inside the Dane County Jail at a new system they're using to deter any contraband from getting inside.
Drugs, weapons, things that we don't want in the jail don't come into the jail.
We've all heard of things being snuck into jail that aren't supposed to be there.
We have had opioids and things come into the jail, and it's proved to be deadly in some cases.
The Dane County Sheriff's Department is taking the extra step to help prevent opioids from getting in. They spent about $100 grand on this machine to make sure nothing sneaks past them.
On the front end, it did cost a lot of money, but again, we think this can save lives, and that's our priority.
Booking Deputy Jane Harvey says it's not just opioids they're finding.
Even some uncommon items like candy or hair ties.
Hidden in their you-know-where.
But we ultimately just want to keep everybody safe who's here.
All right, so really quick, I just want to show you how this machine works. Anybody that they put through here is going to walk all the way down at the end, and then this conveyor belt is going to move them through. Just like a screening at the airport, this machine will do a full body x-ray to check to see if you have anything on your person that they might not be able to find in a regular pat-down search. Once your scan is complete, you'll then step off the conveyor belt, and the booking deputy will then review what they saw on their screen, and depending on what they find, will determine what type of search they do next.
Even though we have the scan, it comes down to taking them to a hospital to get those items removed.
Well, this machine can basically detect anything that's hidden. It doesn't mean traditional pat-down searches stop.
People's desperation in terms of getting things like opioids into the jail, they put them in places where just a pat-down search is not going to find them.
They found things like syringes, pipes, and drugs. Jane says sometimes people's addiction that drives them to hide things like this in their private areas is a key indicator to get them the help that they need.
There are programs that we can get them set up on to help them when they do get released to continue their sobriety.
Now, most people who are booked into Dane County Jail will go through this machine, but not everyone has to.
There's certain situations where it's just not appropriate. For example, if we have an expectant mother, we wouldn't send her through that.
Police say they've caught a number of people hiding things that they might not have otherwise found before this. It's been in use since December, and they say it's one of the best investments they've made in keeping everyone safe.
Even if this can just save one life, it'll be worth it.
For News 3 Now, I'm Jamie Perez.
People at the sheriff's office say since more people know about this, they've seen fewer people trying to sneak things into jail.
Well, we turn now to Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti, who is keeping a close eye on our weather out there.
Yeah, it's been snowing pretty steadily since about 7 o'clock this evening, at least here in the Madison area. It's also been a little bit of freezing drizzle mixed in as well, and that could add to the slipperiness of the roads. So at this point, we're still looking for about 3 to 6 inches of snow accumulation by morning, heaviest amounts north and west of Madison, but I did have to add in the possibility for a little freezing drizzle in spots, especially from Madison southward overnight. Tomorrow will be windy with snow. There could be a little light freezing rain as the heavier snow shifts to the north, and areas south of Madison, especially down towards Janesville and Beloit, could see a period of light freezing rain or freezing drizzle through the morning hours. Storm totals will end up in the 5 to 11 inch range. The 5-inch totals probably south of Janesville. The 11, maybe 12-inch totals up in the northern parts of our viewing area north of Wisconsin Dells. You can see the snow has been advancing pretty steadily toward the north and east through the evening hours. There's some freezing rain, actually quite a bit of it down toward the Quad Cities in northwestern Illinois, and then that changes back to snow farther to the west. If you look at the visibilities, the lower the visibility, the heavier the snow is coming down. Right now, pretty much 1 mile visibility through much of southern Wisconsin, La Crosse down to 3/4 of a mile visibility, and winter storm warnings remain in effect for all of southern Wisconsin. They've been expanded into Jefferson and Rock counties. To the south, because of that freezing rain, ice storm warnings have been issued south of Rockford into parts of north central Illinois for perhaps as much as a ½ an inch of ice accumulation tonight into early tomorrow morning. Temperatures right now, you can see just barely around the freezing mark to our south. Here in southern Wisconsin, upper 20s. Those temperatures aren't going to change very much overnight. The live view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison, you can see how low the visibility is with the snow and freezing drizzle here in Madison. High today 29 degrees, the low temperature 23, and right now we're at that high for the day of 29. We have some light snow being reported at the airport. Winds are out of the east at 15 miles per hour, the wind chill at 18 degrees. The storm system basically followed along the same powerful jet stream that has been bringing storm after storm. The next one may take a little more southerly path, so by the end of the week, we may be out of the main storm path and just get some light snow from that. But this storm system has been really winding up through the Texas and Oklahoma Panhandle region, and then we'll just track right along the jet stream right into the Midwest. You can see the main area of low pressure now starting to develop across parts of central Missouri as the secondary area of low pressure stays farther back to the west. So this is becoming the main weather maker. That's bringing the surge of moisture northward into an area where the air is below freezing. That's where you get the snow and also some freezing rain, especially where temperatures are just below freezing. The temperature at the cloud level is still about maybe 40 degrees at about 5,000 feet off the ground. So you can see the freezing rain to the south, mainly snow here in southern Wisconsin. The heaviest of the snow starts lifting northward by tomorrow afternoon. Then by tomorrow night, the snow just kind of heads off to the north and east. Skies clear out for Wednesday, although temperatures will be in the 20s. The next weather system already starting to bring clouds in here on Thursday. And you can see that one kind of a split storm with snow to to the north and then some rain to the south. So again, that main storm track starting to shift farther to the south, and hopefully that'll keep the worst of the weather away from us. Winter storm warnings pretty much for our entire viewing area through midnight tomorrow night. Look for our temperatures to stay nearly steady around 28 degrees overnight. The snow could be heavy at times overnight into early tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow the snow will taper to flurries in the afternoon after about a 5 to 11 inch storm total. High of 30, then falling temperatures late in the day. The snow pretty much through the area overnight and then starts to end late tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. Then by Wednesday we're back to some sunshine, but temperatures will stay on the cold side with highs only in the 20s. And the heaviest snows north and west of Madison, 9 to 12 inches there, 6 to 9 through the Madison area, a little lesser amounts to the south where there'll probably be a little bit of freezing rain mixed in. Otherwise, that next weather system, again, lighter snow from Thursday into Friday, another little weather maker Tuesday of next week. Temperatures will stay below normal, but hopefully at least we'll be out of the main storm tracking this every other day or every third day snowstorm or ice storm. Hopefully we can stay away from that.
Wouldn't that be nice?
It would help me out a lot.
Thank you, Gary.
Sure.
Giannis back on the hardwood tonight. We'll have highlights as the Bucks battle a struggling Chicago Bulls team. That's next in sports.
Well, so here's an impressive stat. The Bucks have not lost back-to-back games all season. And with a loss to the Magic, they weren't about to drop one tonight, especially with Giannis back in the lineup. The Deer at the Bulls tonight. Chicago having a bit of a down few years, if you will. Second half action here. Chris Middleton goes up to Giannis. for the one-handed slam, 29 points, 17 rebounds for the Greek Freak. He got some help, too. Later, Malcolm Brogdon in the corner. He drops down a three. 17 points for him tonight. Ersan Ilyasova also contributing 12 off the bench. And the Bucks win 112-99. They're at Indy on Wednesday. Meanwhile, to the Badgers now, the latest AP poll out today, putting Wisconsin at number 20. Now they're down one spot from last week after the loss to Michigan on Saturday. The Badgers host Michigan State tomorrow night for another top 20 matchup. Spartans coming in at 11 today, but they have lost their last 2 of 3 games to Purdue and Illinois. So the Badgers know exactly what to expect.
That just obviously makes them go. He's really good with the ball, makes really good decisions. His ability, to score from the outside and penetrate makes him extremely difficult. Transition defense will be huge, and then again, just executing and doing our stuff, playing inside out.
Their MO is they like to play tough physical basketball, and it's really hard to, punch gaps and really score in the paint with how they help off defenders. So, you just got to maneuver around that and game plan for that.
So from a big picture perspective, we're more than halfway through the Big Ten schedule now. So if March Madness started today, where would Wisconsin stand? Well, the NCAA committee put out their top 16 this past weekend. So check it out here, this beautiful bracketology we've got. Duke is the #1 seed overall, and the Big Ten represented in every single region here. Again, this is all hypothetical, so let's remember that. Michigan is a 2 seed here in the East, and then Michigan State also a 2 seed in the West. Then we've got Purdue coming in at a 3 seed in the South, and Wisconsin was the last team in. They managed to sneak in, ranked as 16th overall as the #4 seed in the Midwest. Just some things to think about. Selection Sunday is, by the way, on March 17th. Badgers offensive lineman John Dietzen is calling it a career. The left tackle had 1 season of eligibility left in college. He tweeted the news earlier today, citing the decision to numerous injuries that he suffered from his playing career. He said it wasn't an easy decision, but he is forever grateful to everyone who was a part of this experience. Now, with Dietzen leaving, there are more holes to fill on the O-line. The Badgers must now replace 4 of their 5 starters come fall. The Prep Mania Game of the Week returns finally this Thursday night with a battle for first place in Big 8 girls basketball. Middleton and Sun Prairie are both 13-2 in the conference. You can watch the game with Jay Wilson and Bill Brophy live on channel3000.com. That's 7:15 this Thursday night. Well, it's been 2 years since legendary Wisconsin hockey coach Jeff Sauer passed away after a battle with pancreatic cancer. Now, in his memory, one high school hockey player is honored with the Jeff Sauer Award every year. Last year, Edgewood goalie Shane Ryan was given the inaugural award, and among this year's 4 finalists are 2 players from our area. Dane Lupke, a senior from Wanakee, and Haley Meskin. She's a senior at West and plays for the Metro Lynx. Badgers men's hockey head coach Tony Granato will present the award to the winner on February 27th at the WIAA State Hockey Tournament. We'll be right back.
Snow's coming down pretty steadily across southern Wisconsin. Winter storm warnings in effect for everybody through midnight tomorrow night. About 6 to 9 inches of snow in the Madison area. Heavier to the north, a little lighter to the south. Temperatures right now upper 20s. After this storm, maybe a little more light snow toward the end of the week, but hopefully no big storms.
All right, tune in to News 3 this morning for the latest on any possible school closures.
Do something good, be safe, and we'll see you here tomorrow.